Yeah, I was wondering. There goes the music. Like, Kimigiku's been out there for a while, so something's happened. Alright, well, let's get into this. Just then. Princess, I have news for you. Kiku, did something happen? Kodo and Takeda have broken through our seal and they have infiltrated the village. They are heading directly for us. What? You two get out of here! For them to put forth such effort to come back here, I can only think means they are coming for you, Chizuru. I nodded back to her sternly, and Eva and I gathered ourselves to leave the room. Or not. Gah! I heard the sound of flesh being sliced open, along with a brutal blood-curdling scream. Then a man covered in blood burst in, falling to the floor. This man... I think he was the one who had been guarding the entrance to this building. Sen glared in angrily in the direction of the forest. Shortly afterwards, a figure was approaching us casually. Someone I had no desire to see.
Ah, I had a feeling you were here, Chizuru.
Father, Takeda, what are you doing here?
Do you really have to ask? Is it not so obvious? I have come back for you, my child. My, what a troublesome one you are.
That is not what she was asking. How dare the two of you show your faces here? Sen had stood in an indignant rage, glaring at my father. Father, however, seemed unfazed.
When last we met, I was rudely interrupted, but you are still no match for me.
Kimigiku readied her stance, preparing herself to fight Takeda, but...
Too slow.
Please don't kill Kimigiku. Takeda seemed to move 3 paces quicker. Ooh. Flustered by the rapid swings of Takeda's fists, Kimigiku was eventually thrown to the side.
This is nothing.
He gazed over Kimigiku's body on the floor and turned to face Iba.
Still kicking around, eh? Guess human bodies are a little sturdier than I give them credit for.
Ugh. Iba unsheathed his sword, bracing himself to block a strike from Takeda.
Too slow, dumbass!
Takeda anticipated Iba's counterattack, intercepting his sword easily. If it came to the two of them engaging in hand-to-hand combat, there was no way Iba could stand a chance. Ugh. Both he and his sword were flung aside. What could I do? I knew that I wasn't really any match for Takeda. However, abandoning Iba and Kimigiku to escape was not an option. Though my hands were trembling, I nervously reached for the Kodachi on my hips.
What are you doing? You know that you stand no chance against Takeda, don't you?
I mean, I don't mind just finishing him off nice and slow here, but... I owe Kodo a favor for all he's done. So, Yukimura, you're coming with me.
Gah! I had a small window of time to find an opening into which I could strike Takeda. However, a hateful aura radiated from his entire body, intimidating me from stepping forward. So you close your eyes? I had to close my ears, blocking out the hateful thoughts to step forward and conquer the fear.
You don't mind, do you, Chizuru? Even if we left Kodo be, the Shogunate army seems to be heading towards an inevitable defeat. Even if it means cutting myself from the rest of humankind, I will choose this path.
I heard the shattering of glass. Then... oh boy. What? Where were you Eva, where'd you get the arm from? Wait, like, do you just, like, hold the arm, like, up to your arm, and then you drink the thing? Or do you have to, like, drop the serum onto the arm and your arm, and then it fuses? Like, wait a minute, how does this work? I mean, it's a beautiful picture, but hold on a second.
What? Ugh.
Takada's eyes were wide with shock.
You bastard! What's with your arm?
Why are you asking such a foolish question? You should know by now.
Ow. There was a coldness to Iba's tone, puffing his chest and arms up confidently. Takada furrowed his brows, scowling at Iba as his teeth gritted from hatred.
Got it, so you drank the water of life as well, eh? And now you've got yourself an arm to match. Guess it was only a matter of time before you'd become some blood-sucking beast too.
Ooh.
Yes, just like you.
He drank the water of life and became a fury. Upon losing his left arm in battle, he replaced it with a demon's arm. He's very pretty. Iba responded stoically, continuing on with a fixed gaze upon Takada.
However, let me tell you one thing. The difference between you and me is that I've invited this power onto myself willingly. Although we have both lost our sword arms and replaced them with demonic powers, the way we use these powers will be for separate purposes. The powers I have gained are going to be used to protect the people I love and to uphold what I believe is right.
The floor shook beneath Iba as he gathered his strength, causing Takada to step back slowly. Immediately, Iba had unsheathed his sword, and by the time I blinked, he had already closed the distance between himself and Takada. Alright, well now you got your matching arms. Their swords danced in a flurry of movements too quick to see with my eyes, and Iba's newfound strength and speed made his display masterful.
Damn it!
Takada struggled to keep up with the pace of Iba's barrage of strikes, panting in the frenzy. If there was a question of which of the two demons was stronger, it was clear Iba had the advantage.
It appears we have reached an impasse here. It would be unwise for you to lose what great progress you have made in your new form. It would be in our best interest to retreat for now.
What did you say? You bastard!
You can kill him any other time. Do you want to die from your own stubbornness?
Reluctantly, Takada heeded my father's words, sheathing his sword back into his scabbard.
Ugh. You may have the upper hand this time, but next time we meet, I'm slicing off that pretty head of yours. Brace yourself, Hachiro Iba.
Wait! I had rushed up to stop them, but like demons, they disappear. Father and Takada vanished like mist without a trace. I'd love to learn that trick. Well, that was the quickest resolution. After we had regrouped ourselves, we sat with Sen and Kimigiku about what to do next. The two of us will lead a pursuit after them in order to retrieve the demon's arm once more. Will both of you be okay? Just earlier, it seemed like neither of them stood a chance against Takada. If they were to meet again on the battlefield, how would the outcome be any different? We do not have many other options. We must avenge the fallen demons murdered by him. Fighting him head-on will be a little tough, but sometimes battles require alternative strategies. Sen and Kimigiku seemed set in their resolve to find him, but I could sense what felt like a little bit of nervousness towards what was about to come. I am aware I may be repeating myself, but Iba, your powers are something that shan't be shown to any humans with whom you make contact. You are to never use your power against humans. You understand this, right?
Yes, I understand.
In any other circumstance, I would have found the use of the water of life as reprehensible. And as far as you are concerned, Iba, although I accept what you have become, I do not accept you as one of our own. Princess, you're not making any sense. Thank you, Kimigiku. Thank you, Sen. I don't know how I can ever repay you. I can't thank you enough. You have nothing to thank me for. If we had other options, I could have done something to save someone dear to your heart from becoming a fury.
Don't say that. Until we see how this battle ends, I suppose. Now, Chizuru, we should head out soon.
Oh, you got your hand bandaged too. Alright, now you got the dragon claw thing going. Okay. Please, Sen and Kimigiku, be careful.
I will be holding on to this arm for a while. When the time comes, I shall return it.
Alright. After we said our goodbyes, we bowed to them and walking out of the village back to Osaka Castle. I have no idea how the fight against Takeda and Father will turn out, but for now, ours is another path. All we can do now is move forward, no matter what awaits us. With a newfound resolve for the future, Eva and I made our descent down the path of the mountain. Wow. After becoming separated from Sen, we had left the Yasei village to head towards Osaka Castle. We happened to sneak past what was left of the Satsuma Choshu troops a few times. 4 days had passed since the fighting broke out, and on January 7th we had finally arrived at Osaka Castle. We're here. We're finally here. Seeing the majestic castle filled me with an incredible amount of relief.
The Shinsengumi men are all here.
Iba looked up, marveling at the grand castle as it loomed over the moonlit forest. I too felt quite overwhelmed by the view, but it seemed like Iba's expression indicated he was stuck on something he couldn't shake off. Eventually he turned to look at me.
Chizuru, I have a favor to ask of you.
What is it? I had no idea what favor he could possibly be thinking of at this time, so I waited nervously for him to continue.
Please, keep the fact that I have taken the water of life a secret from the rest of the Shinsengumi.
What? But I could understand that he may have not wanted his longtime friends to know he'd become a fury, but his health could dwindle in the future, and it wasn't like being a fury was something you could hide forever. However, Iba seemed to read the concern in my face, and he continued.
I won't say that it'll be a secret forever. I will, of course, tell them when the time comes. For now, though, I just can't bring myself to do so.
Iba watched the moonlight radiate its cold light behind the clouds above. Was it for my sake that he seemed conflicted about all of this? So how have you been feeling?
So far, I haven't sensed anything too strange. As a matter of fact, I feel rather energetic compared to before.
That's good. I'm happy to hear it. Iba hadn't seemed to suffer any of the afflictions that came with becoming a fury or attaching to himself the demon's arm. In my heart, though, I had made a wish, even if I knew it may not come to anything. I had prayed that the water of life, nor Iba's new demonic limb, would do him any harm.
Hey! Someone is approaching us.
I looked up to see. 2 shadows crept from the distance, walking towards us. Friendly faces.
Who's there?
Shimada and Soma! Both of you are safe!
Yukimura! Goodness, we were worried sick about you.
I'm fine. Iba saved me and escorted me back here safely.
We owe a debt of gratitude, Iba. Seriously, thank you. There is no need to thank me. Are Toshi and the others safe? Yes, currently he is meeting with the other captains for our next course of action. Our next course of action. Right, huh. Well, the Shinsengumi will have to prepare for their next attack on the Satsuma Choshu.
After Hachiro offered up his suggestion, Shimada and Soma looked at one another, falling silent.
Is something the matter?
After a beat, Iba seemed to catch on to the pause in the conversation, prompting him to ask.
We'll tell you the details inside. This way.
The war with the Satsuma Choshu seemed to produce an uneasy atmosphere at Osaka Castle. Not a single person we walked past, however, was in uniform, nor did they seem prepared to fight or return to the battlefield. I found this quite perplexing, thinking so to myself as we'd entered the common room. Yeah, about that.
Yukimura, you're alive?
Hijikata, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to worry you guys.
No, only thing that matters is you're alive.
Aw, Toshi.
They killed Gen, who we thought was with you. So I figured you were either dead or had been kidnapped. Glad to see you're safe.
The subject I had been avoiding to think about was brought up. I don't know what I could say that wouldn't have come out wrong. In a way. So he did. Back then I could only hope it hadn't been so. Such fears had crossed my mind at the time. However, I suppose I compelled myself to put it to the back of my mind for my own sake. Hijikata looked down, biting his lips.
Yeah, he's gone. It wasn't pretty.
I gasped, but every breath felt heavy, like my lungs had suddenly filled with water. The gentle soul, in a way. As I had been acclimating myself here, he always gave me so much support. To think someone so kind-hearted died so needlessly. I was beginning to be consumed with guilt, and Hijikata seemed to read my mood, continuing on.
However, he died like a man. All of his wounds were from the front, so even as shit had gotten rough, he stood his ground. Honestly, can't imagine any other man who's ever died as honorably as he did.
Although he didn't want to show it, Hijikata was overcome with emotion, and as I watched his eyes force back tears, my stomach was sinking.
Oh yeah, I wanted to run something by you.
Yes, what is it?
Yamazaki's been hurt. Bad. You think you can take a look at him? Well, maybe it's best for you to wait before seeing him for now.
Hearing even more bad news had sunk what little hope I had into a deep, crushing nothingness. Yamazaki! Judging by the way Hijikata had said it, Yamazaki must have been in really bad shape. I understand that Hijikata may have wanted to save me from hearing the reality of it, but... No, it's fine. I will see him as soon as I can. Please, if I may. Hijikata had seemed to loosen up a little.
I see. I'm sure that'd make him happy.
Ugh, Yamazaki. And while I had been hearing about what became of some of my comrades, Iba was celebrating his reunion with Motoyama. Oh yeah, Motoyama! You lived!
Iba, I am so glad to see you're safe. When I hadn't seen or heard from you, I thought... I apologize for worrying you. I'm fine now.
Iba almost choked on his words, hesitating a little before saying he was fine. It wasn't noticeable, I think, to anyone else.
What of the other soldiers? Are they safe?
Yes, everyone made it to Osaka Castle safely. We were actually just speaking with Hijikata about the next move, but... Motoyama turned his head to look at Hijikata.
Before we can make any decisions about what's next, I want to hear the latest about the war front.
Hijikata let out a huge breath, gritting his teeth as he faced downwards.
Well, since you've gotten here, I had a feeling you'd say that, but... It doesn't look good for us this time. So, this means we're going to work to fortify Osaka Castle and prepare for battle, right?
Iba expected Hijikata to agree with him, but both Hijikata and Motoyama fell silent. Hijikata was the one that spoke up.
Normally, I'd agree with you. But protecting this castle is going to be pointless when there's no one keeping us here. Huh? What do you mean, no one keeping us here? Supposedly, Lord Yoshinobu bitched out and fled to Edo on one of his ships not too long ago. As soon as we're done packing, we'll be going to Edo too.
Iba was awestruck, seemingly at a loss for words as he froze from hearing the bad news. His gaze fell to the floor.
Lord Yoshinobu did what? That can't be. Yeah, this might be kinda rough on you since you were an Okazume. But everything has been upside down for me since we got involved in this mess. No.
There seemed to be a strained effort coming from Iba to appear composed in front of Hijikata. However, it seemed like there was nothing he could say to oppose Hijikata's words. After a brief pause, Iba quietly lifted his head.
Motoyama, will the Yugeki unit return to Edo as well?
Well, as it stands, it appears to be so.
Toshi, what will become of the Shinsengumi from here on?
No point in us staying behind. All we can do now is head back to Edo and get our bearings. This loss has been a serious blow. But I'll spare you the details for now. Why don't you go around and greet everyone? I'm sure they've been worried about you.
Oh, okay.
My heart was pounding as the weight of the bad news was sinking in. However, I can't just sulk forever. Hijikata, Iba, and the men of the Shinsengumi hadn't shown any sign of giving up yet.
Well, we will be on our way then. I deeply apologize.
What are you apologizing for?
For being a Bakushin.
Iba must have felt guilty from the actions of Lord Yoshinobu and his abandonment of the Shinsengumi and the rest of the shogunate army. Hey, I'm a Bakushin now too. You have no business apologizing to me. Iba felt a sense of relief from Hijikata's understanding, and he smiled in return. Bros. Then he and Motoyama stood up.
Oh.
I found myself speaking out involuntarily, coaxed by the thought of Iba leaving me.
What's the matter?
Iba stopped and looked at me. I had almost apologized instinctively, but I was able to stop myself. I think that if I had apologized, it would have brought Iba's mood down again.
Iba, I can't thank you enough for everything.
Iba smiled kindly, like he usually does in response.
Think nothing of it, but rather... Please, keep our secret safe for me.
A new secret. I gasped from hearing his request, looking around to see that Motoyama had overheard him. Hey, what secret are you talking about?
It's our secret, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, you made me curious and all, but if it's none of my business, then I'm fine not knowing. You say that now. I had been escorting the two of them to the exit when... Oh, hi.
Is it true the two of them are here? If it's not, I'm gonna kick your ass!
All of a sudden, Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke came bursting into the common room. Good to see the three of you together. Their eyes were fixed dead on me.
Chizuru! Oh man, what a relief. I don't know what I would have done if I never saw you again. Are you hurt at all?
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry for worrying you guys.
You idiot. You don't need to apologize for that. We're just glad to see you're safe and sound.
I miss you boys. Iba watched as the Shinsengumi captains gathered around me, but eventually... I watched from out of the corner of my eye him leave with Motoyama. Oh. Final chapter. Okay. Well, we lived. Oh, that's beautiful. I was in the middle of organizing some of the medical supplies as Dr. Matsumoto had asked me. After finishing up my cleaning, my thoughts lingered on how Yamazaki was. Last night I checked up on how his treatment was going, but the wounds were serious. According to Dr. Matsumoto, we would know by tonight or tomorrow if he would make it. Hijikata seemed prepared for the worst, offering only a worn, tired smile in response. The Shinsengumi had sadly experienced some huge blows as an outcome of this war.
Chizuru, there you are. You had only just returned yesterday, and now you're already hard at work.
Iba.
I was looking for you. I wanted to say goodbye before I left for Edo.
It didn't seem like he was experiencing any negative effects, smiling softly back at me. How are you feeling? The sun has already risen.
Not too bad, honestly. Same for this as well.
Iba pulled up his sleeve, showing me his left arm. Even at a glance, it was obvious the arm was not his own. This arm containing an untold amount of demon power within it. All to keep me safe. As I furrowed my brow looking at it, Iba picked up on my reaction.
This isn't something that you need to feel bad or responsible for. It was expected that Takeda would have wanted to exact revenge on me. I am certain that even if you were not with me, something like this would have happened eventually.
He thinned his eyes, staring at me with a stern but gentle expression.
Besides, if you hadn't been there with me, I doubt that Sen would have given me the demon's arm in the first place. So, for as long as I have this arm, I won't have to give up fighting. So, for you, I am grateful.
From the window behind us, the sun was beginning to shine warmly on Iba's cheekbones. Oh. I tried to say something. What happened? Was it just that he's beautiful again? Is that all that it is? I thought something crazy happened. We know he's gorgeous.
See? Sunlight doesn't seem to hurt me.
As the sunlight made his eyes glisten, Iba kept his calm, kind expression in focus.
So, please, keep your chin up. You don't need to shoulder the blame for this.
He may have been lying to keep me from worrying, but even so, the way he deliberately tried to comfort my fears lifted the anxiety weighing my heart down. Iba, what will you do now?
I am a vassal of the Takagawa clan, so I will go to wherever Lord Yoshinobu is.
But I wanted to ask how he could, considering Lord Yoshinobu abandoned all the men fighting for him. He answered calmly.
A lord can only rule as well as his vassals can serve him.
Huh?
It means, no matter how much a lord strays from his lordly duties, the vassals' duties are the same, and we must honor our work. I think Toshi and the rest of his men seem to understand this concept well. If they can do it, so can I.
As Iba spoke passionately, he shined so brightly I almost needed to squint. How they all could retain their composure and senses of self perplexed me. Same. Especially for Iba, being told directly from Sen that he was too insignificant to play a great role in the history of mankind. As I anxiously thought about the future to come, I couldn't help but feel somewhat depressed. But there's no time for that now. I must stay positive. Well, I think I should head back soon. As much as I didn't want to see him go, the longer I stayed with him, the harder it would be to see him off, so I turned around and initiated the goodbye. I am now initiating Operation Goodbye.
Wait. Please, stay with me, even just a moment longer.
Huh? My heart skipped as his voice came from behind me, stopping me in my tracks. What had gotten over him? Have you forgotten that he called you his love? Usually he just watched me tenderly as I left him behind. Oh, okay, at least you're aware. But never before had he said outright that he didn't want me to go. More sunlight peeked through the corner of the window, making Iba's eyes squint cutely. Uh-huh.
I often have to ask myself, why the thought of you leaving fills me with such emptiness? My heart doesn't beat the same.
His voice quivered, and for the first time, Iba seemed vulnerable to me.
My heart beats uneasily without you. I hear a voice telling me it won't rest until I am by your side in Edo. I want nothing more than to never leave you. I want to keep you safe with my own two hands, my own flesh and blood. This alone I regret.
Iba's eyes turned forlorn after confessing his worries to me, and he gripped his left arm, which was covered in a blood-soaked wrap. I couldn't just watch as he beat himself up. So he smiled. We'll see each other again in Edo, right? Iba quickly turned his head up, taking comfort from my suggestion. Yeah.
Of course. In Edo, the two of us shall come together.
That could have a different meaning. Iba gave a wry smile and gave a big sigh.
Oh.
Iba held his left arm tightly, using it as an outlet to channel the turmoil bubbling inside him. After a short while, we both stared at the sun, which was completing its morning ascent. There was still so much to worry about, like Takeda, father, and Iba's new demon appendage. But even with all of that, Iba and I could share in the beauty of this new day together. Alright. Well, we had an ending where you guys weren't on the boat. So that's nice. Yamazaki hasn't died yet. Maybe there's still hope for him. Okay, so we didn't have a lot explained, really, about Iba. Iba's just, like, a crazy, amazing person for being just a human. It's interesting that, I mean, like Chizuru said, he could just be lying to her, and I would believe that. But if not, it's interesting that he's not reacting, like having as bad of side effects as the other guys have had with the Water of Life. So I'm interested to see how that's going to develop. I'm like, I feel like they were hinting at more with him and Chizuru and their backstory. And maybe that's to be explained more in the second game. But unless I missed something critical, I feel like we didn't really get any answers that way other than like, yeah, we were childhood friends and he was like the only one who was like, you're not a monster, when all the other kids in the village were throwing stones at her. And he's like, well, if I was different, would you hate me? And he's loved her for a long time, and she's the reason he became a warrior, because he wanted to protect her. Which is super sweet and adorable. But I still feel like there's gotta be something a little more to it, right? Am I crazy? Did I miss something? Is there something more to come? I don't know. I got questions. But that was very sweet. Their route was just like very pure, basically. And I loved how many different, like how different the story played out. It still fit in great with everything that was going on, but man, it played out a lot differently. I loved all the extra scenes, and oh, Takeda as the villain was just fantastic. I loved it. Takeda and Dad teaming up. What an unexpected duo. Alright, what's our epilogue this time around? January 1868. The Battle of Toba Fushimi ended with the Satsuma and Choshu victorious. As the shogunate troops retreated, the Shinsengumi headed towards Edo. 4 years ago, I came to Kyoto all by myself in search for my father and met the Shinsengumi. I am going to leave the city of Kyoto where I made fond memories with the Shinsengumi. He gained the powers of a demon in order to protect me, and I have chosen to walk beside him. We are going to head to Edo, without knowing what fate awaits us, or when we will see each other again, because we went on separate boats. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see where that whole storyline finishes. It'll be quite different from the other guys. Nice, nice, nice. Alright. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was quite interesting. Oh, brother. Achievement unlocked. Oni-san. That was great. Okay, good. I hope you guys enjoyed Hachiro Iba's ending. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm not... Like, I like him. There's a lot to like about him. But I don't think he's gonna end up being one of my favorites, personally. But that's just right now, because I feel a little wanting, just because I feel like there's more to be done with his character, but we're only halfway through his route. So maybe by the time the second game's done, I'll be like, oh, that was really great. Everything, like, makes sense, and there's a great excuse me. There's some, like, great explanations and backstory going on there. So I'm going to reserve my judgment until then. But as of right now, there were other boys' routes that I enjoyed more by this point. But still, loved how different it was. I had a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Anywho, that was the good ending, so because we're done that, you know what that means. It's time to move on to unrequited love and bad endings. So, if you're interested in seeing what those are, I hope I'll see you over there, guys. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I will see you later.